about a year since Nini Geria died. We've had the big cremation. Today is the absolute start of the 1 month of ceremonies in preparation for her soul purification rites called Mukur. This morning the Padanda comes to do the setting out, the spiritual setting out, the sacred measurements for the holy enclosure, the Banchinga, the Piadnyan, the grandstand of the ancestor spirits, where Nini, my Balinese mum, I say Balinese mum, adopted Balinese mum because I adopted her family rather than they adopted me. Where Nini's spirit effigy and that of the 50 followers, the Pengiring, will sit for the climax of the ceremonies around the 25th, 26th of the month. Here we see the loyal serfs and family members all preparing the pieces for the grandstand. Miluga said, "Wow, Galata." So they're arriving by the scores to help. Nini was much respected in the village, basically in charge of all the temples for much of her life. Head offering provider, born into the palace around the corner. The Balinese love nothing more than this sort of gotong royo. All hunkering down together, shaving things, tying things, wrapping things, carrying things. So there's all the offerings and all the bones of the pavilion about to be raised once the holy high priest, the Padanda, does his thing. He's already been fetched from the head of the ceremony, Bagus Teja, greeting people as they arrive. Sosiasto! There's the head of all the offering gang, the son of the deceased widow. And there's the chief widow, Ajigade. There's the heir apparent, Guste Pengang. Wow. So this is the start of the whole show. Inilah mulainya.
This is opening.
Opening. This is the start. The starting of the building of the Piadnyan, Banchinga. And why do we have to use the betel nut palms? Because they're sort of yellowish in colour and they're virgin. Everything has to be virgin. There's the virgin pussy. Virgin pussy, not much of that around these days. The West End, start of the 1 month feeding people. The head gorgeous and her gang of lovelies. Basically it's one big party. Last night they were just measuring this extension of the veranda of the Ballet Londo. This gorgeous Gungaji from Pedungan. Sabi nan skudi airporta, inana Jumma, inan Gega. What a scene! Now, when it's holy work like this, you just wear the sash tied. So it's not just the very extended family, it's also the representatives from the families of the Pengiring, the followers, whose parents or grandparents will be taking part in the soul purification rites. So these are all the white painted clay dulang to be used for the Mapralino ceremonies, which is the climactic thing, which sort of symbolizes the part of the cremation process, when they return to the ashes, when they actually get the ashes of the spirit effigy and ngulak, they grind them into the bases of these dulang, these trays. It's Mangku Dharma from the Pura Desa, whose mother was a lady-in-waiting to the late Nini Geria. So the high priest is here, Idapadanda Putra Manawaba from Geria Nyukat Lestari in Sanur. He and Mangku Dharma in his really pious Aing Nuka. It's the group Inti. Dayu Gede, Justejo, Mangku Dharma, Padanda Putra Manawabo with Ajigade. So everything's in place. They can start the measurement once the Padanda's had a cup of tea. Incense is being lit. That's my girlfriend in blue.
Beautiful, yeah.
My other girlfriend. So they're making the hanger-downers, the sampians. Sekan sampian, ayu, yang dayu chao, karian api. Narsango. So we have the group from Chao in the corner over here. Daigude's family from Chao. Hi guys. Yang bagus nih. We have the start of the Nyukat ceremony, which is quite unique. I'm sure that they still have it in India. Part of the Hastakasali setting out, only can be done by the holy men. Isn't it great with this whole background of the building site? So it's the blessing of these special groundbreaking offerings that accompany the start of construction. Quite a table load. So Mangku Dharma is actually doing the measuring in his Santa sash. So the garden's becoming a grandstand. So all this pole position marking happens while the Padanda is ringing his bells. Ring my bell. This is the Wangjarot Brahma. Brahma's in this corner, the south corner with the flame. So you have to take the tray of special offerings to the Brahma corner, the south. Everything starts with Brahma, of course, the creator. This is very Brahman ritual. No confusing the cardinal points with these Brahmins. They're right on top of it. They're in every corner of it. A full complement of handsome agungs to do everything, and this is the chief serf of the village who looks after the water buffalo and basically does everything. Mare Kitra in charge as usual. So he walks with great authority, even though he's not one of the aristocrats, nor is Mangku Dharma, but everyone defers to them, mainly because Kitra is the best hammerer in the village, and Mangku Dharma is chief Mangku of the Pura Desa. So the Bagus Suteja just confirming that this is the Batas Panyankar, the fence that will go around the holy enclosure, the Piadnyan. They've got to make the land holier so then they can build on it. Haji Gede, the widower, making sure everything's right. Whoa, oh, that's fantastic. Look, they're using his dapur. Depan Haji Gede. IsnIsn't that fabulous? Haji Gede has to stand in. Ngelahagan kaya nak baling eh.
Buet nak buet.
Wet
Buet kan ki ngandang itu ke? Ngandang itu. Dan urip nih. Diki. Nah, nyak pas. Pas aja.
Pas. Oh. This is the ancient Indian measuring system that we even find at Sanjaya in the museum. In the 7th century Sanjaya kingdom in central Java. Carried right through to the present day from South India. Hasta Kasala Hasta Bhumi, with the Badandas in charge, Brahmanic ritual of measurement. And the widower survived to be measured. And they use those little sticks, the little measuring sticks, to measure everything now. Everything is basically a denomination of Haji Gede's body measurements. Napiadana mungkin? Hasta.
Asto. Amusti.
Amusti.
Asto Amusti. Depo Agung.
Depo Agung.
Asto Amusti.
Oh, Asto Amusti. Tengah tu.
Dengan Depo Agung, Asto Amusti. Kusala.
Nika Asto Bhumi Hasta Kasaling eh. Saking India. Padanda explaining to Guste how it all works.
Ratu kenda katur toyo dumun rimrat. Diki.
Isn't that great? Measuring stick nozzled on Haji Gede's body. So they have to move that. Oh, they bet one more. That's it. Has to be the exact. Okay, they got that right. Padan was just checking, being the architect setting out. 18. 14. Not that they're being that exact because it's Bali. So every time there's a mukur in Bali, which is every time there's a cremation, well, there's probably about 50 cremations per mukur, because they tend to group the souls together. One of these mass events held around the Geria Brahmin houses or the Puri noble houses, then every time there's the building of a Nyukat Piadnyan, Manchinga like this, they have to do this ceremony. Mungkin Sangha Agung is going to check on the building of the Surya, the shrine to the sun. So over here we have to have the Sangha Agung, the special altar to the sun god, who will witness everything and will only be taken down at the end of the ceremony. So as it turns out, the far corner is outside the compound. That doesn't matter. We just take in the house car gate. So that's 8 from the corner. The entrance is going to be to the west, because the altar has to be to the east. It's a great place for the entrance. Perfect. Very artistic. This is fascinating stuff. What a lesson in sacred architecture. What a great start to a month of ritual. This house was only built starting about 15 years ago. Then last year they built this magnificent Maten over here and the new Marajan. Then I built my upstairs quarters with ceilings just finished by apple and badak. There's a Ganesha to greet people as they come in the door. That's very forget the word, fortuitous. So there's always a little bit of flexibility in the basic Piadnyan architecture. There was just a big discussion about whether they had to demolish the gate, half of which is now inside the holy enclosure. And they were all joking, saying, just lift it up and move it, they said. But they will probably take down this wall, which is pretty basic, just to get a few more centimeters. So now the final fine-tuning. They've worked it out where it's comfortable, where it fits into the existing architecture. Unlike India, it's flexible here. In India, they can't wait to move in the demolishing ball. So this is the four-man group that really are the heroes. So these gentlemen from Jimbaran have actually come to meet the Padanda. Yeah, they've never been here before. So now everyone gets a cup of tea. I was just explaining how the high priests always have to have the English teapot, the Dutch teapot. Well, the Padanda history swung around and said, "What's Dutch?" Pasti anti-company Padanda history.